We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Yeah, this is Everton Blender, and it's all about the young police from Jamaica, seeing Young Police Channel. Big up yourself, Everton Blender said that. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Blessed love, Rastafari.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madness. Moving on to our video. Yeah, so as we continue part 2 of this 2-part series, yes, as we said before and we'll say again, you know, all way over years, if you are not learning anything at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, you're at the wrong channel. All we're giving you is facts. So as we continue, you know, part 2 of this 2-part series, we delve deeper into the tragic and disturbing killing of Philip Linton, also known as Arrows. Arrows, a man who had extended his hand to many, including the very individuals who would eventually betray him, paid a heavy price for his generosity. So at the same time, when you come out to get the people, you know, I tell people, you know, some of them, you know, you have to just love them from a distance. These people are like parasites, bloodsuckers. Arrows, a man who had extended his hand to many, including the very individuals who would eventually betray him, paid a heavy price for his generosity. He had often given money to these men, trying to support them in their moment of need. Yet, when the time came, these same men, whom he had once helped, would speak to him in their final moment before pumping bullets into his body. Even more chilling, they found humor in the act, casually laughing as they discussed the brutal murder with none other than Spragga Benz, that's Carlton Grant, a man whose name has become synonymous with the darker side of the music industry. But before we dive deeper into the specifics of that tragic event, let's take a moment to understand the roots of this twisted path, a path that led to so many lives being destroyed. Donovan Clarky Clark, name that echoes through the annals of Jamaican criminal history in East Kingston, was a product of his environment. From a tender age of 13, Clark was already mixed at Red Square, hanging out with Spragga Benz and his entourage. He was introduced to a life of crime and violence early on, encouraged by the very people who would shape his future into ways that would eventually lead him down a deadly path. When this young man should be in school, he was up there with Spragga Benz and with big guns, 357 Magnum, 9mm pistol, 45s, and Intratech submachine guns. Yeah man, key, you know. That Red Square know about that, because he's the man that was the armory, person in charge of armory. He was the one that locked Spragga Benz guns and have this young man there when he should be in school. Spragga Benz was a mentor to this youth. Clark's story is one of lost potential. A young man who could have been something else, but was instead pulled into a world of drugs, crime and death. Spragga Benz, as a mentor and a powerful figure in that world, played a significant role in this. He guided young Clark into a life that would ultimately cost him his own life. Yet, when Clark met his end at the hand of the police, yeah man, Gilroy sent him straight to the departure lounge. Yeah man, Gilroy bad police, but yeah, him thief to you. What I tell you that, what I mean? Then Gilroy and Dodo's not big friend, man. Ask him if I lie, me I tell. Yeah, what I tell you that, because we're all police, they're all detective too. Gilroy and ordinary police. Gilroy original eradication police. Yeah man, Gilroy was a detective at P. Clark said man the wearing him come from Marvally. The man they are bad man police, you know. Yeah man, Gilroy pussy eye. But him thief too, you know. How you mean? I don't know Gilroy man, all street police just like here, all street detective as yours truly. You don't know, you have to show man respect where they part. But one thing with me and them thing, I don't know how them do it, I'll do my barn and go back just like them. But I don't know how them do it, how you bad police and thief. And that them always I say, boy, them can't understand me. I just that me have certain morals, but I just the way me raised. So I thank God for the environment that me come from. Mother, father. So that's why I'm going to thief. So yet when Clark met his demise, yeah man, Clark was a young man into his life that would ultimately cost him life. So yet when Clark met his end at the hands of the police, the silence was deafening. No tears were shed by Spragga Benz. No bottle of rum sent to the grieving family. There was no contribution to Clark's funeral. The cruelty of it all is staggering. A man who had been a key part of Clark's criminal journey, now absent in this time of need, as though his life and death meant nothing to Spragga Benz. It's a grim reminder of the transactional nature of the underworld, a world where loyalty is fleeting and lives are expendable. When you live by the sword, it seems you also die by it, often alone and unremembered by those you thought were your brothers. The chilling irony lies in the fact that while Spragga Benz may have played a part in Clark's rise, when it came time to show any form of respect, solidarity, or humanity, there was nothing but cold indifference. I saw it going on. So that's why I tell you, I say, youth a life of crime to pay. Two places I got in up. Departure lounge or prison. Clark already got prison, spent a couple of years at Spanish Town. All of them think they kill him mother, because the two sons she have, them used to live in a CM yard with Ian and all them things. That Mande's brother. So the murder of Arrows and the story of Donovan Clark are interwoven in the darkness of this underworld. As we examine these events, we are reminded that the people who live in this space surrounded by crime, violence and betrayal rarely find peace. Instead, they are left to grapple with the consequences of their actions, whether in life or death. And so, as we continue to unravel the story of Arrows, how the very people he had tried to help turn on him in the most brutal and unforgiving way. The truth must be told, not just by the victims, but by the world, to understand the true cost of this violent, unforgiving world. The names, the faces and story will not be forgotten. So Spragga Benz, I hope you can sleep at night, you know. Yeah man, for know say you don't have to pull the trigger, but you're responsible. No reason to kill the man. You sleep with the man's wife, and the cure what I tell you, you kill the man over his wife. Because you want the man business, and know the business gone to the ground. But if you do that, man, them things they are just wickedness, brethren. Big time. I don't know how to do it. That's why I can't like me, because no money can buy me and them things. I'm not that kind of person. Because people's life is valuable. So when a guy I go talk about, say, like all Clarky and all these youths, yeah man, straight to the departure lounge. I don't care when you look at corros now, or corrobunkers once in a man parlor. Man with a bingo bag. No, you don't believe in that. You kill people. You know the system where, leniency for people who kill people. I don't believe in that. Because you're encouraged by giving people leniency for kill other people, you encourage them to commit more murder. Performance and edge over competitors. Inspired by his own experience and a vibrant energy of the Kingston music scene, Linton set about making his dream a reality. In 1990, Linton made a bold move to Winmore Road, a location that would soon become synonymous with innovation in the Jamaican music scene. There, he registered Arrows Recording Company Limited, transform his image and his vision into a fully functioning business. What started as a small operation out of his home quickly expanded into a vital part of the sound system culture, attracting artists from all corners of the island who sought to create their dubs with precision and clarity. Arrow Studios became renowned for not only for its technical expertise but also for the creativity that flow within its walls. The studio served as a hub where both emerging and established artists could record their voices for the iconic Arrows International sound system, as well as other sound systems across Jamaica and beyond. This attention to detail and dedication to quality ensured that Arrows became a trusted name in the industry. For Linton Sr., it was more than just about business. It was about building a legacy. His commitment to the art of sound system culture, combined with his forward-thinking approach to business, allowed Arrows Recording to become a key player in the music industry. In the years that followed, his influence would grow even more, helping to shape the careers of many Jamaican finest reggae and dancehall artists. But this success was a hard one, and Linton's determination to rise above adversity marked the spirit of Arrows itself, resilient, innovative, and unyielding in the face of challenges. Sadly, Linton's life was cut short, but the mark he left on Jamaican music would not be erased. Arrows Recording and the legacy of its founder, Philip Linton Sr., remain synonymous with the soul of Jamaican sound system culture, where every dub plate recorded, every artist who walked through the studio doors, and every track that reverberated from the speakers became a part of the ongoing story of Jamaica's music evolution. So what happened was not just a place where Arrows Recording Studio was not just a place where music was made. It was a sacred space of some of Jamaica's most iconic hits. The wall of the studio bore witness to the birth of timeless classic and shaping the careers of many artists. But it was here Carlton Grant, Spragga Benz, found his first big break with the hit single Jack It Up, a song that would cement his place in dancehall history. The legendary soapbox rhythm, which would go on to become the heartbeat of many dancehall sessions, was also crafted within those walls. Wayne Wonder, Soulful Sunshine, Morgan Heritage, She's Still Loving Me, and countless other tracks that would echo across the airwaves were birthed in that very studio. The studio was a symbol of creativity, collaboration, and the magic of music. Artists came and went, each adding their own unique touch to the vibrant landscape that Arrows helped shape. So the man that gave Carlton Grant, Spragga Benz, a break, that is the same man who's responsible for that man, for Linton Sr. to lose his life. So the energy in the year was palpable as Linton Sr. and his team worked tirelessly to craft recordings that would become the anthem of their name. But amid the music, the melodies and the rhythms, there existed a dark story, a tragic tale that would forever haunt the legacy of this once proud institution. For many, it seemed like a perfect story. Spragga Benz, a rising star in the dancehall world, achieving success at the same time the studio was thriving. His song Jack It Up became an instant classic. Its infectious beat and catchy lyrics making him as one of the genre most promising talents. But behind the scene, far from the public gaze, a web of deceit, betrayal and tragedy was slowly being woven. The sad part about this story lies not in the music that was created, but in the man who was behind it. Spragga Benz, a man whose voice had captivated listeners across Jamaica and beyond, became entangled in a far more sinister narrative, one that involved a brutal murder and a chilling betrayal of trust. The man whose life was taken was not just a casual acquaintance to Benz. He was someone far closer to home. This man, the victim, had been married to a woman named Miss Rose, with whom Spragga Benz had allegedly carried on a secret sexual relationship with. It was a relationship, from all appearance, had remained hidden from the public eye. An appearance built on secrecy and lies. Miss Rose, a name that would become notorious in the unfolding of this tragedy, was the center of a drama that would end in bloodshed. Spragga Benz, the man who had once been a part of the community and the one whose voice had spoken to the people, became the mastermind behind the murder of the very man who had trusted him and gave him a break in the music world. In the wake of the murder, a narrative was quickly crafted, a story that would shield the true motives from the public. The official line that the murder had been a result of a $3 million drug deal gone bad. But to those who knew the truth, the story didn't quite add up. The drug deal was nothing more than a smoke and mirrors tale, a fabrication designed to cover up the deeper, more personal motives. Behind the murder, it was not just a business transaction gone bad, but rather an act of jealousy, betrayal, and personal vendetta. The murder of the man, known to those close to him as an innocent figure, was not just a result of a failed business deal. It was a consequence of an affair, of an hidden secret, and the willingness to go to the extreme lengths to silence someone who had become a threat. It was a betrayal of the trust that had once existed between friends, between men who had shared the same space and who had been part of the same industry. In a cruel twist of fate, Spragga Benz, the man who had once crafted songs that resonate with the massive, became a man whose name would forever be associated with violence, betrayal, and murder. So the dark chapter in the history of Arrow's recording studio casts a long shadow over its legacy. A place that had once been a beacon of hope and creativity for artists was now tainted by the blood of a man who had been silenced by those he once called friends. For those who had witnessed the rise of Spragga Benz, it was a painful realization that the very same man who had been a part of the thriving music legacy could be capable of such darkness. The tragedy not only shattered lives, but also left a stain on the community, a stain that could never be fully washed away. It was a stark reminder that beneath the glittering surface of success, fame, and music, there are often stories of jealousy, revenge, and a thirst for power. And that leads to the most unimaginable acts. The loss of life, the destruction of trust, and the cruel irony of it all would forever echo through the walls of Arrow's recording studios, where music once flourished and where stories of betrayal and murder unfolded in the shadows. So the story of the tragic death that rocked not only the music industry but also the very fabric of the Kingston community is one marred by deception, betrayal, and the most shocking motives. From information gathered through a series of confidential sources, including special branch files and Carlton Spragga Benz, it has become clear that this wasn't a random act of violence. The man who lost his life, a man whose name is synonymous with creativity and passion, was killed because of a dark and twisted affair. The victim was married to a woman named Miss Rose, a woman who, unbeknownst to many, had been secretly involved with Spragga Benz. Romantically, this affair, hidden behind closed doors, ignited a chain of events that would ultimately result in the tragic and untimely death of Arrows. It was not drugs or a business deal that led to his killing, as some would have you believe. Instead, it was jealousy, betrayal, and a desperate attempt to silence a man who knew too much. The death of this man, known to the community as Arrows, was orchestrated by Spragga Benz, who, according to the details uncovering from the special brand file, play a central role in masterminding the crime. It is said that Benz, driven by his desire to maintain control over this secret relationship with Miss Rose, feared that the victim, her husband, would expose the truth. The stakes were high and the motive was clear. The affair had gone on long enough and the man must be removed before he could ruin everything. But Spragga Benz did not act alone. Eyewitnesses who were present at the scene of the crime identified those responsible for carrying out the murder. Among the killers were Donovan Clark, a notorious figure linked to the crime, as well as T-Pain and Keno, known on the street as Red Square. These were the men who, under Spragga Benz's direction, took matters into their own hands, ending their life and changing the course of their own future forever. However, it was T-Pain who was identified as one who pulled the trigger, ending the life of Arrows with a cool and calculated shot. T-Pain's actions that morning were not those of a man caught in the heat of a moment, but by someone who had been instructed to execute a plan, one that had set the motion by Spragga Benz. Jealousy and desire for control. In this moment, the music industry rising star became a man tainted by violence and betrayal. The killing of Arrows wasn't just a crime of passion. It was a crime that would forever haunt the perpetrators. Donovan Clark played his role. He too. But what made this case all more painful is the fact that Spragga Benz was once a symbol of hope and success for so many in the dancehall community. His rise to fame, powered by hits like Jack It Up, represented the possibilities of talent and ambition. Yet, beneath the surface, a far darker side of his character emerged, a side that led to manipulation, deception, and ultimately murder. So the same man who have paved the way for this man's career is the same one who is behind the man's killing. This wasn't a case of an innocent man being caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. Arrows was targeted. His death was premeditated, calculated, and executed with ruthless precision. Miss Rose knew about the killing. Now, the studios had gone. They killed the man for his own business. Yes. Arrows lost his life because of his business. His wife wanted it for she and Spragga Benz to operate it. So that's why they killed him. The violence was not accident or a byproduct of a drug deal gone wrong. As some might have hope to believe, it was a cold-blooded hack driven by a personal vendetta rooted in infidelity and fear of exposure. The public's understanding of this case has long been obscure by fabricated stories and false narratives. But the truth is clearer now than ever before. Spragga Benz, a man whose voice had once reverberated through the dancehall scene, was the architect of this tragedy. His affair with Miss Rose and the jealousy it bred laid the foundation for a crime that would leave a community devastated. And as much as Benz tried to distance himself from the reality of the murder, the evidence, eyewitnesses' account, testimony, and the special branch trial speak volumes. For those who knew the victim and the men involved, the loss is personal. Arrows wasn't just a casualty of violence. He was a man with dreams, with a family, and with a future that was violently stolen from him. His death wasn't a consequence of some misguided drug deal gone wrong. It was a tragic result of betrayal, manipulation, and an affair that spiraled out of control. Now, more than ever, it is vital to recognize the truth behind this tragedy, loss of life. The individual responsible for the murder of Arrows, T-Pain, Keno and Clarkey may have been the ones to carry out the deed, but it was Spragga Benz, the mastermind, who pulled the strings. His action that day sealed the fate of an innocent man, and in doing so, altered the course of the dancehall world forever. The music may have continued, but the story behind this murder is one that can never be forgotten. A dark reminder of the price of betrayal in the world of fame and fortune and desire. It is just sad. Oh, this man who helped him is the same man. Start to sleep with the man's wife and then plan and kill the man in 2004. The murder of Philip Arrows Linton, CEO of Arrows Recording Studio, and March 4 shot the Jamaican music community and left many questions unanswered. At 51 years old, Linton had been a pioneer in the reggae and dancehall scene, known for his contributions as both a sound system operator and a recording studio owner. However, the circumstances his death would soon reveal a tale of betrayal, infidelity, deadly loyalty to a prominent figure in the Jamaican entertainment industry. Arrows, as Linton was widely known, had built a legendary reputation over decades as one of Jamaica's most influential sound system operators and music producers. Starting with his humble beginning in East Kingston, Arrows made a name for himself by merging technical expertise with an unwavering passion for reggae music. His contribution to the scene were significant. He helped develop one of the most respected sound systems in the country, and his recording studio became a hub for emerging talent. However, in the months leading up to his death, Linton's life would take a darker turn, rooted in a scandal that would forever tarnish his legacy. At the heart of the tragedy was an illicit affair between Linton's wife, Miss Rose, and one of Jamaica's most well-known dancehall figure, Carlton Spragga Benz Grant. The affair, according to multiple sources, was not a mere fling, but an ongoing relationship that would eventually prove fatal for Linton. Miss Rose, deeply involved with Spragga Benz, had allegedly become dissatisfied with her marriage to Arrows. Tension mounted as she reached out to Spragga Benz with chilling requests to have her husband killed. The motive for the murder was not just jealousy or betrayal, but an intricate web of love, anger, and power within the dangerous world of dancehall and criminal allegiances. Spragga Benz, whose career had been mired in controversy, is said to have agreed to Miss Rose's request. In doing so, he set in motion a deadly chain of events. The individual responsible for Linton's murder were identified through eyewitnesses' testimony and police investigation. Donovan Clark, a notorious figure in the criminal underworld, and the nephew of Mandez's brother Ian. Yes, and they say Ian is the one that introduced Clarkey to the gun culture. Yes, because he used to just give them the gun and make them, him and the other brother. See, yeah, Ian. So joining him were two other men, T-Pain and Keno, who went by the alias Red Square. Red Square live in America. And anytime the feds them talk, anytime them, the feds get to talk with him, then we get all of the information from him about Arrow's death. Because most of the murder them were committing in Jamaica and the people them there in America, the FBI can get involved when I saw you will get. And I tell you, people around, anytime them care take people in a building and carry them up to the 33rd floor and show them a tree and tell them how long it will take for the tree get big, them give away all them mother. So these men were well-known figures in Kingston underworld with ties to several violent gangs. Clarkey and his associate had been loyal to Spragga Benz for some time, carrying out various tasks for the dancehall star, including violent acts and against those who had wronged or crossed him. The loyalty of these men had had to do with Spragga Benz was so strong that they were willing to kill him without hesitation. In this case, the target was Arrows Linton. And the day that they killed him was March 4th, 2004, over 20 years ago. So Spragga Benz, I hope when you see this man, you know, you look at him photo, I hope you can't sleep, you know. Yeah, man, I hope you can't sleep. Because this man play a pivotal role in your life. The day of the murder, on the morning of March 4th, 2004, Philip Linton arrived at the recording studio, park his Ford F-150 in the company's parking lot, waiting for the steel gate to open at around 9:15 a.m. Clarkey, TPN and Keno approach him. Without warning, they are attacked. Witnesses report seeing Clarkey and TPN pull out firearms, and TPN, who had their reputation for violence, was identified as the one who pulled the trigger. Yeah, so Linton was shot in the head and critically wounded. The killers then fled the scene, leaving Linton bleeding on the floor. He was rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The official police report listed the assailants as unknown, but the events soon began to unravel with a disturbing clarity. Initially, many speculated the motive behind the killing was a robbery. Linton, after all, owned a licensed firearm, which was found on his person after the attack. He knew the men them. That's why they were able to shot him. He knew them as gangsters. That's why you cannot trust criminals. There's no honest criminals. He knew them. So he had spoke to the men before they killed him. Not knowing that he had a license gun. So he was comfortable seeing them because they are criminals. These are men that he give money all the time. That's why I tell you that there's no honest criminal. You cannot nurse, pet and powder these people because they are the prey of mind people. So as the investigation progress, it's became clear. However, those close to the situation, including sources from the police and informants in the industry, soon point out to a much more sinister reason. The murder was a contract killing. Yeah, Miss Rose, deeply involved with Spragga Benz, had apparently sought out his help to end her marriage to Arrows in the most brutal way possible. And all of this was done because she wanted the business. Philip Arrows Linton death was not just a senseless act of violence. It was a culmination of personal betrayal, criminal alliances, and a dangerous world of dancehall politics. It serves our grim reminder of the length to which some will go to maintain power, protect their secrets, and eliminate those who stand in their way. The men responsible for Linton's death, Donovan Clarkey Clark, he was killed by the police. Yeah, man. He was killed by a police. What him called Grey Eye, Gilroy. TPN still alive. Keno, the Red Square, still alive. And Keno, Red Square, living in America now. Were merely instrument in a larger scheme that was driven by a toxic mix of lust, power, and revenge. In the end of the killing, it was not just a tragedy for one man, but for an entire community that had relied on his contribution to the world of reggae, dancehall, and sound system culture. So Spragga Benz, I hope you can't sleep in every time when you see this man photograph, because you know you're well. You can't hide, but your conscience can't hide. Yeah, I can tell you that. So have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.